flowers.
Turn back, I see rivers beyond the light, ancient roads in broken design, angels running through our minds. Look up, your city's built on marble floors, neon lights in the falling snow, those nights back in Tokyo. And weeks went by but felt like hours. Spring with lion, summer showers. In my hair were winter flowers. And weeks went by but felt like hours. Seasons multiply in power that I found in winter flowers. And we said, this has only just begun. In the end, time forever favors the young. And we said, this has only just begun. In the end, time forever favors the young. Look back to where midnights broke their sleep, awaken our memories of when we would make believe. Collide colors of the masquerade. Watch as they fall away, faceless under faces made. And weeks went by but felt like hours. Spring would lie in summer showers. In my hair were winter flowers. And weeks went by but felt like hours. Seasons multiplying power that I found in winter flowers. Turn back, I see rivers beyond the light, ancient roads in broken design, angels running through our minds. Look up, your city's built on marble floors, neon lights in the falling snow. Those nights back in Tokyo. And weeks went by but felt like hours. Spring would lie in summer Look back to where midnights broke their sleep, awaken our memories of when we would make believe. Collide colors of the masquerade. Watch as they fall away, faceless under faces made. And weeks went by but felt like hours. Spring would lie in summer showers. In my hair were winter flowers. And weeks went by but felt like hours. Seasons multiplying power that I found in winter flowers. I see rivers beyond the light, ancient roads in broken design. Look back to where midnights broke their sleep, awaken our memories of when we would make believe. Collide, colors of the masquerade. Watch as they fall away. Face look back to where midnights broke their sleep, awaken our memories of when we would make believe. Collide, colors of the masquerade. Watch as they fall away. Faceless under faces made. And weeks went by but felt like hours. Spring would lie in summer showers. In my hair were winter flowers. And weeks went by but felt like hours. Seasons multiplying power that I found in winter flowers. Turn back, I see rivers beyond the light, ancient roads in broken design, angels running through our minds. Look up, your city's built on marble floors, neon lights in the falling snow. Those nights back in Tokyo. And weeks went by but felt like hours. Spring would lie in summer showers. In my hair were winter flowers. And weeks went by but felt like hours. Seasons favors the young. And we said, this has only just begun. In the end, time forever favors the young.
I think that part you're doing in the middle was tight. Do you remember which one?
What's up, family? What is going on? Give me a thumbs up, man, if y'all got me on the audio. Make sure everybody's good. Gonna go ahead and get started here. Man, I love that music, man. I do. Love the music. I seen some folks talking, they tired of hearing the music. Hey, guys, look. Sometimes I play the music for a couple different reasons. One, allows me a little time to get some of the video and some of the audio linked up on the different platforms that we're working with. Also gives time for everybody to get into the chat, get into the live, give a little time, man. I know y'all rather do that rather than sit here and just boring silence. So it makes sense, man, to play some good music sometime, man, to kind of get y'all in the mood, you know, to talk about some stuff, whether it's good or bad. It helps me kind of get my mind right to talk about some of this stuff, man. You got to keep your composure with this stuff. And one way to do that is listening to good music. I mean, a lot of stuff we've been dealing with, man, it can get you sad. It can get you in a mind state where you feel like it's pointless, or you can feel like it's, you know, you're at a point of despair. Or you can, you know, make the best of the situation. And that's what we all of us here that's on my channel is choosing to do is, you know, make the best of a bad situation. And we have for the most part, but we got to continue to do so. So we got to talk about some of this stuff that we got to talk about. I hate talking about some of this stuff too sometime, man. If y'all ain't noticed, man, I've been on like a week-long like vacation, I guess you call it. I haven't been on here. I haven't did a video with you guys in about a week, man. Been very busy. We got a lot of orders that are going out, guys. If you had orders, you have orders that will be going out within the next week. Okay, we got a lot of orders that are going to be going out. That was a lot of them was based off of that last special we ran, which was the knockout. So a lot of people jumped in on that for the super bundle, and also we had the Mother's Day special flexfour that was running, man. Because we got jammed up in the system, went on to let that run a little longer to compensate for everybody that was not able to get that due to the traffic that kind of got the system all clogged up. So able to get that all knocked out, man. We got an influx of orders that we got to get out. So if you have an order that you placed within the last week and a half, week, 2 weeks at the most, sometime around there, you should be receiving your order within the next week. Okay. We do have the special that we're running with right now today, which is the cleanup code cleanup. All right, that's for the ultimate bundle. Okay, it's not the super bundle, but it's pretty close. You get everything except for the new Dawn facial cleanse. Okay, which that deals with the parasites on the face and everything. You also got the flexfour, which that is half off right now, so that's running it right at $90. So with the code cleanse, you get the flexfour. All right, so those are the two specials running right now. If you haven't got a chance to clean your system up, guys, we can't emphasize how important that is. And we're going to get into a little bit of that today because that's essentially what we're dealing with. We're in a constant attack. If you haven't figured that out yet, man, and you're in the right place to figure it out, I suggest that you go and watch some of my older videos on Rumble. And the reason I say Rumble is because we've been under a steady barrage, man, on YouTube. All right. We've been under steady barrage, under attack on YouTube. As of most recent, man, I've got strikes. Literally, the way they came and got me, man, they came and hit me on a couple of the channels. They hit me with several strikes at one time, man. So I had to pretty much clean the channel off of a lot of the videos that we did recently. They came for it, man. Like I've heard that they were really cracking down lately and really going after people like myself that have been able to circumvent the system with a lot of different strategies and things that I've just learned over time. But they starting to come after us for that stuff too. If you haven't been aware that we no longer live in a free society, it's not free to live, and it's not no longer a freedom of speech. Okay. Everything that we ever had that was good has been pretty much disrupted at this point. And some of the different privileges and benefits that we've had over the course of our lifetime as human beings, man, is non-existent now. If you haven't been aware, but I'm explaining this to you guys now, like some of the simplest things, man, that we've taken for granted over the course of our lifetime, man, have now come under fire, and we are being pretty much funneled into a system, man, of control, of dictatorship, of monarchy, or what I'd rather say, of corruption from the highest levels. Okay. And it's no more apparent than what we just faced in the pandemic. And the fact that they're still pushing some of this stuff on us. They call it draconian measures. Draconian measures. Can you imagine that? Draconian. Think about that, guys. Let that word resonate with you for a second. Draconian. Where did they come up with this? Draconian measures. Man. Anywho, man, I talk to people about this stuff all the time now, man. It's very clear to me what's going on here. It's very clear what's been going on. If you haven't known all this time, man, we have been under attack. All right, we have been at war. You haven't known you've been at war, but you've been getting shot every day of your life, and you haven't even known it. Most people don't know it. Most people die asleep. All right, y'all remember my video, my intro that I used to have rolling on my video. I said that you're not asleep or you're not alone, and that you were part of the resistance. Those that found my channel, they were able to start uncovering the lies and stuff, man. Like I tell y'all all the time, we may have just, like, some people just stumble across my channel and it starts waking them up to everything that's going on. Some of you always knew there was something going on, something was wrong, but you didn't know quite know what it was. All right, but over the course of the time that I've been around and some other truthers, we've been able to unveil a lot of this crap and put a lot of stuff on the forefront that starts to make sense. You can see it for yourself. You question the stuff, man, do your own research. But all of the information, man, all of the documentation, all the stuff lines up. You know, you can check the references, the credentials of the different whistleblowers and important figures that I've putting you guys in face to show you a lot of what's going on. I mean, I go from as far as, you know, the stuff dealing with the Illuminati, the satanic worship, and adrenal extractions from the children, to these different beings that are here, the spiritual side of stuff, the biblical aspect of it, from the Nephilim, the hybrids, from the Queen of England to freaking president of the country. You know, we've touched on all this stuff, and a lot of it ties in together. And if you haven't been following along, man, like, you're probably very lost right now. I can't just break all this stuff down in one video, and I don't plan to. I got a surplus of videos that are on Rumble. Like I said, I had to remove a lot of them off YouTube because they just came and hit my channel pretty hard. So I suggest you go and watch stuff on Rumble if you haven't had a chance. We've even went as far as talking about time travel. I know some of you like, oh, that's far-fetched. And yeah, in your world, it probably is. Like, a lot of stuff that we talk about, man, I point out the significances of everything. I mean, when we speaking on time travel and stuff, the Mandela effect, talk about Trump and his uncle, John Trump, and the time machine, and Tesla, and the beings, the connection, Al Billick, and the synchronizing of the time portals that they were able to open up. All of this stuff, man, we touched on all this stuff. The doubles of Trump, the doubles of Hillary, the space station, the moon, okay, the cloning, okay, the parasitical takeover. Okay, these music artists, these actors, these actresses, goes on and on, man. We didn't talk about it all. You know, the walk, the people taking a walk, the calcification of your pineal gland, and how essential that is to the corruption and the deception that they have pulled over everybody. How that was a key part of this. That's why I always advocate for you guys to decalcify your pineal gland. I say decalcify your pineal gland, and understand, we went over this too. And we'll touch on some of this stuff too. Like I talked about the alcohol, drinking alcohol, and how that opens you up to spiritual possession. Okay, how drinking alcohol lowers your aura, your protection from these spirits. Okay, understanding all of this stuff and how it works, man. They understand this, the evil elites. A lot of folks don't, and they won't, and they can't. All right. Even when we talk about the religious aspect, people don't want to touch that. I get it, man. We go into so much, but it's necessary. It's necessary. And I tell you all the time, man, just because you woke up today doesn't mean stuff wasn't going on yesterday. All right. Understand that the media is run by these evil elites, but they also, it's just another wing of the Nephilim, the Dracos, and their whole plot to destroy humanity. All right, as crazy as it sounds, I know some of y'all feel like like I always say what I say. I know this sounds like a sci-fi movie, but guess what? We're not in Kansas no more, Toto. We're not. All right. This is reality. You know, over 60-70% of the population has been plugged with a biochemical weapon that is eating away at their life and their life expectancy on a daily basis. And yes, we do stand to lose probably over 60, maybe 70% of the population over the next 8 to 10 years. If that doesn't sound odd enough, then look no further than the birth rate that has plummeted over the last 2 years. I just went over that. The whole video I did on babies. All right. Where are the babies? Notice you don't see as many pregnant people running around. Used to be pregnant people all over the place. Like you couldn't walk out the door without seeing somebody pregnant, walking around the block trying to drop a baby, or in the grocery store pushing a cart, like getting help, pregnant. Like you don't see that stuff no more. It's not happening. Thing is, like I tell you all the time, they're not gonna pull out a special news bulletin. It's not gonna be a special news bulletin that's going to explain away what's happening. They're not gonna say, hey, there's not a lot of babies being born, and this is why. They're not gonna say, oh, it's a lot of people dying of cancer, and this is why. If they do tell you, it's always gonna be them giving you an excuse or making up some crap reason for why it's happening. They're gonna completely lie about it. In fact, man, let me see something real quick. Oh, yeah, I put this up. Great example. This is what they do, guys. This is what they do, and I want you guys to see this firsthand yourself, so y'all kind of get. And then we're gonna get into what we want to talk about. But I want to show y'all some stuff, man, just to put things in perspective. Y'all know how I like to put things in perspective. Screen one. Okay, here we go. So look at this, guys. Interesting. Fatherhood might be bad for your heart. Since when is being a father bad for your heart? I thought kids and stuff like that made you happy. They brought love to your life, brought joy, right? Brought positive energy, positive emotion. No, they're going to flip it around, and this is the stuff that they putting out for the masses. This is for the people that are asleep, okay? This is for the people that are completely asleep and have no clue that they've done stuff to you to cause you to have this problem. So while you having this problem, right, they introduce this problem to everybody. Now they start sliding in the information they want you to receive to understand why you have a heart problem. Fatherhood might be bad for your heart. What kind of idiot would believe such nonsense? What kind of idiot would believe such nonsense that all of a sudden being a father is bad for your heart? Guys, I told y'all this before. I said, just because you start seeing stuff today, don't mean this stuff wasn't happening yesterday. This ties right on in with the video I did where they were talking about for hurricane season, you need to hurry up and get vaccinated. Remember that? If you want to avoid a hurricane, you need to take the walk. That's how you prepare for hurricane season. This is the type of stupidity that they're able to push on people once they drug you up enough, right? It's no different from you going to the bar or some woman going to the bar and getting a date rape drug. What they've done, they've date raped America. They've date raped the whole freaking world, okay? Then they introduce whatever they want to introduce. You don't think nothing of it. You drink the concoction. All right. Then they slide this in and say, oh, you might have a heart problem because you're a father now. Dang, maybe I shouldn't have had no kids. If I would have knew beforehand that I could have a heart attack from having a kid. Dang, I should have got that, took that walk if I would have knew Hurricane Katrina was coming. Right? This is the type of stupidity, man, that they're able to push on people. But the reason they feel they can do that, man, is because they know they drugged you. They drugged you to the point where they know that they can push this kind of stupidity. It's that simple. It's another one. Let me see real quick. I just thought that was really, really interesting that they even went there. Here we go too. All right. Okay. Another predictive programming or influence that they try to push out here. Hold on. So you see this one. Scientists say an apocalyptic bird flu could wipe out half of humanity. This was in 2020. They're preparing people for what they plan to do. All right. So now we got the avian flu, right? The avian bird flu. Okay. Now, mind you, things cool right now. Things kind of cool. It's a lot of folks dying and it's some stuff happening, but they setting this stuff in motion. Now we coming up on election time, Y'all know what time it is. When it's election season, y'all know how they get down for election season. Y'all know how they get down. They need people sick. They need people sick, too sick to get up and go to the polls so they can do an influx of mail-in ballots. Look, it's too dangerous to go outside. We need you to mail your ballot in. It's too dangerous to go outside because people are walking around with this avian flu that's killing everybody. Well, it's really not. But what is really happening is people are dying from you know what. All right. So now they can push this in as, hey, people had this bird flu problem. So you don't want to be outside. You want to make sure you mask up. This is the type of stuff that they preparing you for. And they show you ahead of time exactly what they about to do. Just gotta pay attention, man. Just gotta pay attention. Y'all know I showed y'all before that video. I can't think of the name of the movie, but it had the guy that was supposed to be like, he was kind of like Governor Newsom and everything. He looked just like him, man. That's why I say you can't make this stuff up, man. Governor Newsom, the avian flu, same thing. He had all these draconian measures that he put in place. Same thing. All right. So I would anticipate that they're going to really push and kick this stuff off full-fledged to explain away a lot of the problems that people are having behind taking a walk. It's a video I want to play for you guys. Hold up. Let me see real quick. You know, I'll be like, man, I've already decided that most videos that I play are not going to be good. So chances are I'm probably going to have to remove it off of YouTube once we get through. Probably going to have to remove it off of YouTube, man. But I'll play some of this stuff either way. Let me see real quick because I wanted to play something. There we go. So the video, well, not the video, but the topic that we want to discuss today, I told you guys before, and we went over that over the forever chemicals and stuff like that. That's part of it, man. But the stuff that's going on with the food, all right, it's a lot going on with the food, man. If you're not aware of this, man, you need to start paying attention to what's going on with the food. All right, I know a lot of people don't pay attention. Stuff gets snuck by us, man, and you don't get no notice. All right. Prime example. You go to your favorite pancake joint, right? Go get some pancakes, Waffle House, good, IHOP, Denny's, Pancake House. You order your pancakes, you order your sausage, you order your eggs. All right. Most people don't know that most of the time the eggs they give you are not real eggs. These are generic eggs. All right, generic eggs, and they come in a bag. It's powdered. They put powder in there and a bunch of other crap that's completely harmful to your system. They don't tell you that, though. They just give it to you. And then when you come down with some kind of strange illness or issue or cancer or whatever else later on down the line, they make it seem like they have no clue what happened to you. They don't tell you you've been eating generic crap for the last 10 years. Every time you go get some, ain't no different than McDonald's, right? We talked about McDonald's. Most people that go to McDonald's believe that they're eating real beef. Believe it or not, guys, most people that go to McDonald's believe they're eating real beef. Most of them believe they're eating real chicken when they get their chicken nuggets. They believe wholeheartedly that they're eating real food. But it's not food, so what is it? Right? What is it? And why weren't you warned about this? Did you think most people would go to McDonald's if they said, like right there on the sign, this is a slime burger, a slime patty? Like, oh, what do you mean slime patty? This is not real meat, sir. It's not hamburger. Okay, well, that's what I came to get. I wanted a McDonald's hamburger. Well, it's a McDonald's hamburger, but our hamburgers don't consist of actually beef. Oh, okay. So when were you going to tell me about this? Well, actually, we weren't. Actually, we weren't. We had no intention of telling you about this because it would ruin our whole franchise of McDonald's. So we just serve it up. And if you ask, then we'll tell you it's not real hamburger. And those are not real chicken nuggets. And actually, that's not potatoes that your French fries are made out of. Oh, well, what is it? We cannot disclose that information, sir. Most people, guys, believe that they getting real beef when they go to McDonald's. They believe that. Okay, it's no different. I had experience myself. You go to a hotel, okay, you eat their breakfast, right? You believe wholeheartedly that you're getting real eggs, real sausage, you're getting real chicken and stuff, and it's not that. But what is it? Nobody ever took the time out to try to figure it out, right? They just eat it. You just go places and you just eat stuff. You know, people don't ask questions. People don't look at packages. It's just like when people took the walk. They didn't look at the insert on the package. There was no insert. There was no information, but they wanted you to put it in your body. They wanted you to ingest it. They want you to consume it, but they don't want you to know what it is. And you wonder how we have a death rate that's always climbing. We have cancer rates that are always climbing, but nobody wants to speak about the stuff that they're ingesting or that they're consuming on a regular basis. This is not a mistake, guys. This is part of the plan. This is part of the plan. This is part of the war that we in. The war is the food, the air, and the water. Okay, they're not coming to your door shooting you. Well, they try to force the walk on everybody. So I guess they did shoot a lot of people. Quiet as kept, man. People did get shot. This is new age warfare. People got shot. All right, let's be clear. People got shot. All right, people got blown up with grenades. Okay, biochemical grenades blown up in their system. Let's just be clear and call it what it is. A spade is a spade. People consume live grenades, and they blew up in their system and could totally destroy their immune system. Some people's hearts blew up. People died on the spot. Those are what you call biochemical grenades, all right, that people consume. All right, a lot of times we get these time release mechanisms that they're implementing now. I'll tell y'all from talking about the nanoparticles and things of that nature. You got these remote control receivers that they put in everybody that's controlled by the antennas that's going up. All right, and you don't think you're at war, but they constantly putting these different things out to attack you. You don't think you're at war, but they constantly putting these things up to attack you. It's just like I say, people don't recognize it because nobody's waving a pistol in your face. So people don't recognize that they're under attack, but they are under attack from all kind of biochemical weapons, from food, air, water. It's a biochemical war, right? Psychological war, spiritual war, all right? And in some cases, physical, right? You've been attacked on all fronts. Let me play this video real quick. We're going to talk about the bioengineering of some of this food and stuff. We're going to get into that, man. I think that's an important piece. So we're going to rock out with this. Let me pull this up real quick. Hold it up for you guys.
I'm actually really glad that you asked this question.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Hope y'all like the music I was playing earlier, man. If y'all like the music, man, I'll be playing, man. Give me a thumbs up. Just give me a thumbs up. If you'd rather have some hard rock or something or some hip hop, let me know. You know, I'll take some requests, maybe. I don't know. Some stuff you gotta be cautious of, man, because they be having some bad stuff going on, even with the music. That's not good. So we're not gonna play all music. We won't. We play some good uplifting music, man. Sometimes some music that matches the content of what we got going on. But yeah, I like to play the music. So anyway, let's play this piece about this food though. Hold on, people. Hold on. Give me a second. Give me just a second. All right. Oops, that's not what we want to do. Hold on, guys. We got a problem. Presentation. Screen 2. There we go. All right. Let me play this real quick.
I I'm actually really glad that you asked this question. Bioengineered food is food that contains genetic material that has been modified through certain laboratory techniques for which the modification could not be obtained through conventional breeding or found in nature. And then actually, January 2022, changes went into effect, and that's probably why you're seeing it on a label now, whereas maybe you didn't see it before. But they're having their new requirements that are going on, which seems cool, right? But then if you look deeper into it, they're allowed to put this QR code on here instead of putting on there made with genetically modified ingredients. So unless you're actively looking for things like this, unless you're looking the whole packaging over and then go and scan this, that's how you're going to find out that it has genetically modified ingredients on some packaging, not all. Now, if you look here, frequently asked questions, what foods require a bioengineered food disclosure? Highly refined ingredients like some sugars and oils, and foods that are primarily meat, poultry, or egg products do not require a bioengineered food disclosure. That's interesting. This is a current list of genetically modified crops. Okay, and I think this part is really interesting also. Talking about corn, most GMO corn is created to resist insect, pests, or to tolerate herbicides. Produces a protein that is toxic to certain insects, pests, but not to humans, pets, or livestock or other animals. These are the same types of proteins that organic farmers use to control insects, pests. They do not harm other beneficial insects such as ladybugs. So your organic produce right here, the FDA.gov is telling you that your organic produce is grown and genetically modified so that they don't have to spray pesticides on it. How is that organic? The labeling, you have to watch out for the labeling. They gotta get you somewhere. And then soybeans, most soy grown in the United States is GMO soy. Almost every single thing that you buy that's soybean is genetically modified, but then you don't even realize what they're putting it in.
All right, guys. So basically, the lady was describing kind of what's going on with the labeling. So they've been hiding a lot of the stuff they're doing in just the wordplay in the labeling. Okay, so a lot of times you'll look over something and think nothing of it because they've tricked you with some of the things that they're saying, or how they're describing what it does. Oh, it protects from this particular insect. It's not going to affect you or affect these type of insects, but it's not telling you what it really is and what it does affect, okay, and how it negatively impacts you in certain organs in your body. Let me show you this one here, guys. I think this is an important video. Gonna go to real quick. Now, y'all know our buddy Bill Gates, man. You gotta love his ass. Gotta love Bill Gates. He's got to be America's most highly touted doctor or specialist, right? Check him out.
No offense, but if you still think stocks...
Hold on.
Check the label the next time you buy chicken at your grocery store, because it might have come from a lab backed by Bill Gates. If you guessed Bill Gates for your lab-grown meat, if Bill Gates was on your lab-grown meat bingo card, then you win the night.
Okay. Do you picture this like in Star Wars, where she like 1/4 portion, and then she puts water in it?
Yeah,
becomes big.
That's what I picture, and that's actually what it is. We're going to show you some video of this in a second here. That it might have come from the meat that you buy at the grocery store might have come from a lab backed by Bill Gates instead of a farm. this story might leave you questioning the very essence of our food supply. Over the past few days, the United States Department of Agriculture, the kids call it the USDA for short, has just approved the sale of lab-grown meat from not one, but two companies funded by Bill Gates. That's right, folks. The man who wants to control every aspect of our lives is now trying to dictate what we eat. The two companies that just won approval are company number one called Good Meat. The company number two is Upside Foods. First, can we just take notice of their names? Good Meat and Upside Foods. Good Meat's parent company is called Eat Just. In other words, the meat you currently are eating from a farm is bad meat or somehow unethical, is what they're saying with these names, right? I work at Just, or Eat Just, because I'm a just person.
It'll work. Look at all the people that buy all natural and all that from the grocery stores, because it sounds like it's the right thing to do.
For sure.
I eat at Good Meat. Oh, I get my meat from Good Meat. So it's not a slaughtered meat. It's good meat.
And
It's
what's the name of the Impossible Meat? The burgers that have...
The Impossible Burger, yeah.
And there's the other one.
Yep.
What's the competitor to that?
Beyond Meat.
Beyond. Okay.
Yeah, Beyond.
Okay.
So, their names are one thing, right? That basically your meat is bad. Somehow you're unethical for the meat you eat. You're currently unjust if you eat from a farm. We'll unpack that in a minute. Let's start with what proponents of lab-grown meat say about it. First, they say this process eliminates the need for animal slaughter, paving the way for meat production that doesn't require any animals at all. Secondly, proponents of lab-grown meat, the stuff you're seeing here on your screen, shows that there are significant environmental benefits. They say this, right? That traditional animal agriculture contributes significantly to greenhouse gas emissions and deforestation. Again, this is what they say.
But it does require an animal. You need to pluck a feather or something to get the DNA. You do need a host.
Right. You do need animal proteins. This is why it's not, for vegetarians, for vegans, you can't have this lab-grown meat because it still comes from animal proteins, right? So if they're
going to pluck feathers for beef, they're doing it wrong already. So throw that out there.
Some sort of a dinosaur meat. Anyway, first they say this process eliminates the need for animal slaughter, paving the way for meat production that doesn't require any animals at all. Secondly, proponents of lab-grown meat claim that there are significant environmental benefits. Traditional animal agriculture contributes significantly to greenhouse gas emissions and deforestation.
So guys, I want to pause this for a second as I come back on and just kind of explain why this is important. All right. It's important to understand, guys, that obviously you got the lab grown meat. They showing you here like, oh yeah, we doing this, and it's been approved, right? It's been approved to be sold, right? Let me ask you this. When did bag eggs become approved? When did we get the notice that the bag eggs was going to be approved? Not just approved, but that was going to be the standard for all restaurants. When did you get that notice? You see what I'm saying? When did you get the notice that most of these hamburger joints, from your McDonald's, your Burger Kings, and all your Hardee's and stuff, when did you get the notice that they was going to start using fake beef? Did you ever get the notice? You see what I'm saying? Like these are questions you got to ask. So the stuff they doing now, yeah, they showing you like, yo, we about to do this kind of stuff, but they're not telling you like you're going to eat this stuff. They're not telling you you're going to eat this stuff. They're showing you and saying, oh, it's optional. But then when you go to the stores, guess what? The restaurants, they're going to be feeding it to you, and you're not even going to know it. So when you come down with some kind of ailment or something, you're not going to know what it came from. You're just going to assume, oh, I got high blood pressure. Oh, I got these issues with my pancreas. I got this liver problem. You've been eating this crap that nobody told you was eating. And guess what? There's not a study. There's not going to be a study that comes out and says, hey, all these people that was eating this hamburger crap, this fake meat and stuff, all these people came down with liver disease. All these people came down with kidney dysfunctions. You see what I mean? That's not going to happen. They're not going to tell you that they gave you this, and they're not going to tell you what happened to you that caused you to have this problem. All right. Understand, the FDA, the folks that's approving this stuff are the same folks that was not approving of cures and things that worked during the pandemic. All right. They was the ones that was making sure that you didn't have any option but to go and take the walk. So is it making sense? Like these folks that's supposed to be over our health and safety are actually doing the opposite. So they're going to push, they're going to promote, they're going to put this stuff out there, and then they're going to make it seem like this stuff is good for you, and it's really not. They're going to push it, act like everything is great. They're going to talk it up, and they're never going to look into the effects, the damage that it's done. Okay, there is no study to see what happened to people that consumed chicken nuggets for a good portion of their lifetime from McDonald's. That study is not being done. Okay. But I guarantee you, if they looked into it, the numbers will be staggering for how many people had some kind of issue behind it. All right. So let me play a little bit more of this.
Again, this is what they say. And how exactly does this work? Well, according to Andrew Noyes, who is the head of PR for Good Meat's parent company called Eat Just, the lab-grown meat, stuff in the Petri dish, also known as cell-based or cultivated meat, is produced directly from animal cells, cultivated in what he calls bioreactors, with the help of nutrients like amino acids. He says to picture massive brewery-like vats rather than Petri dishes in sterile laboratories. Once ready, the meat is then collected from these bioreactors and then processed. He says it looks like minced chicken. Now, you might be wondering, why should we be worried about lab-grown meat? Well, for starters, it's an affront to our traditional agricultural industry, which has been the backbone of the United States for centuries, and family farms are being crushed by regulation, and now they face direct competition from these lab-grown alternatives. I think it's a direct attack. I mean, it's really, to my mind, a direct attack on our hardworking farmers and ranchers who have dedicated their lives to feeding America, and frankly, the rest of the world, but we're focusing on America in this story. We recently had a Wyoming rancher on the show who talked about these attacks, and she talked about this lab-grown meat problem.
This AI tool will take your idea and create a complete...
So what I was explaining, guys, is that this is the stuff that they're putting out, and this stuff is meant to do harm. It's not like, oh, it's a mistake. Like I told y'all, the stuff they spraying and stuff, it's not like, oh, they want to see, or they gonna try, or they hope that it hurts you. They hope that it has some kind of negative effect. Guys, trust and believe, they know what this stuff does, and they intend for it to do just that. It's not to do anything good for you. Not at all. Okay? The more people that have problems from this stuff, the better off they figure the world's going to be, because that's what they're trying to do. Not to mention they're putting this mRNA technology in all kind of crap now. You see what I'm saying? So they using the food for some of the crap that they put in, but they also have started putting this mRNA. So guess what? If you put all this technology, this mRNA technology, if everybody starts getting that crap, then you don't have to explain away what's happening to people that's taking a walk. You don't even have to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Because now there's no control group. When you talk about the experimental aspect of this, there's no control group if everybody's seeing similar type of effects. You know what I mean? But they could push it by first getting everybody that took the walk. Now, I'm gonna play something in here probably today as it pertains to that, the new findings and things stuff. I don't know. I really be kind of walking on the edge with some of this stuff, man. So I don't know how much I'm gonna play, but yeah, they are putting that stuff in the meat. I showed y'all a video of that before. So you got the generic meat that you're getting, then you got the real meat, right? The regular meat that you're getting, and they're starting to inject these animals with this stuff. So it's like, okay, well, how do you avoid it? If they're putting all this stuff in everything you eat? This is what a war looks like, guys. You under attack from all angles. Understand that. But if you know better, you can do better. You have some kind of choices, or you have some kind of idea of what's happening. You can better prepare yourself for what's to occur. Let's play the rest of this. We're not gonna play all of it. I just want to play a good segment of it, and I think we're gonna go into the next video.
Options were the last things left in the meat case. During the pandemic, everybody was eating the real products. Every food source has an environmental footprint, period, right? There's an environmental impact to everything that we eat, whether it's plant or whether it's animal. What I do know is here in the United States, we are losing hundreds of acres of some of our best quality crop ground every single day as urban expansion occurs. You know, they're building housing developments, they're putting up schools and parking lots and, you know, shopping structures. And that's land we will never get back in production. Land is a finite resource. And so, you know, we can't make more of it. So where's all of this additional food going to come from? Because to even come close to replacing the nutrition that we would need to replace by eliminating animal source proteins, how would we ever begin to grow enough additional crops without the land being available to do that? And I think that's something that I constantly ask that no one has an answer for, because the reality is I don't think that you can. We simply do not have the land available.
But the implications go beyond economic devastation. Go ahead, David.
Well, I was going to ask, like, think about the ecosystem. So it's like, what are you going to have? You're going to have solely now milk producing and nothing else, no more leather, no more, like there's not going to be this circle of things that come from one animal. Like it's not like it's just producing meat. You know, they have different things that they produce. So it's like you're going to have to get those sources from somewhere. And then you have all of these cattle. What are they going to do? Just euthanize them and waste that meat? Like, you know, like, because the whole industry will be disrupted. Like this makes zero sense.
Right. And she talks about in this interview about how much carbon or nitrogen, I can't remember, is trapped under ranches like this, because there's a whole circle in place, is that when these grazing animals graze, they encourage the growth of plants, which is good for the environment. This is all true. So we would just completely remove this from the ecosystem.
Yeah. And so, I mean, it's devastating for these farmers. It's devastating for the economy. It's devastating for the ecology, but they don't want to admit it. They want to kind of pretend that it's not, and they'd rather focus on the meat that you're getting from these farmers. And the implications go beyond this economic devastation. Lab-grown meat poses serious health risks, by the way. The mainstream media conveniently ignores this part of the story. These synthetic creations are produced in laboratories using unknown chemicals and processes. We have no idea what the long-term effects of consuming such unnatural products might be in our bodies.
They do.
Are we willing to sacrifice our health for this sort of convenience of lab-grown meat? Bill Gates doesn't want you to think about this.
Well, I think that it speaks to, did you want to let him speak?
No.
I think it speaks to, though, the sort of faddism of food, especially in the American diet, because people will sort of buy into it and the stock market will buy into it. So when you think about the popularity of Beyond Burger, Impossible Burger, it seems very chic. The last time I was in the US, I couldn't get over how many aisles of collagen coffee powders there were in the Whole Foods. And I was like, what the hell is this? This is new since I was home last. Collagen coffee, like, we love that shit. We eat it up because if it seems like it's going to promote anything and we can put it into something else, right? It's just, it's almost too easy. It's too easy to manipulate us with food fashion.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, interesting enough, man. I just find it rather ironic that the stuff that we consume, the one of the guys, this guy has no, he has no degree. Even if we want to go off education and things like that, why is this man? Do y'all know what I'm saying? Like, how am I not more qualified than Bill Gates? How am I not just as qualified as Bill Gates to go up and start controlling what we eat? You know what I'm saying? What medicine we take, and the weather. Like, Why do people not see something wrong with somebody having this much power over people? And like nothing he's doing is being tested. They just letting them do it. Think about that. They just letting somebody with no real education behind it come up with all of these great ideas for you. Great ideas for you, right? While the death rate is steady going up, this man's still coming up with great ideas for you. Man, guys, you can't make this stuff up, man. And most people don't even know this stuff is going on. You see, but this is how people end up having all these different health problems and things like that, man. Stuff is being snuck by without nobody noticing. Nobody's paying attention. Nobody's putting it out there. The news ain't saying, hey, Bill Gates just came up with a whole bunch of stuff for y'all to eat, and people eating it. They talk about the Xbox, but they said great things about the Xbox. I told you, Xbox had the ring of death. If you didn't have an Xbox with the ring of death, you wasn't playing your Xbox. If you didn't have an Xbox with the ring of death, you were not playing your Xbox. All right? And yours truly came up with this crap. And now he's designing designer food for you to eat. We're going to go a little more depth with that right now, actually. I'm going to play this other video because I think it's important. Right? Let's look at this, man. This stuff be crazy, man. I don't even know how people ain't. It's concerning because I feel like in the next couple of years, guys, they're going to bend and replace it. So you got all these people that's getting knocked off by taking a walk. We get that part. Then you're going to start having people get knocked off from the stuff that they eating, which they already get knocked off, but they're going to ramp that stuff up. They're going to amplify that. So that's going to start becoming a major factor. And people just like, man, heart attacks and cancer, people dying, dropping left and right all over the damn place, man. Don't nobody say crap. All right? Nobody's saying crap. And this stuff still being pushed out here. So check this out real quick. Check this out. Play this part. This is it. This is very fun, right?
Going from survival
some of y'all might be paying attention
to life to having enough money to like take my kids on vacation.
A juicy, sizzling steak made by computer. While obtaining regular meat is a process that's been taking place for millennia, cow, butcher, beef, Redefined Meat, a meat alternative startup out of Israel, makes their product using a highly technical process. The mix of soy and pea protein, chickpeas, beetroot, nutritional yeast, and coconut fat is formed into steak-like shapes using a 3D printer.
Our goal is to become the largest meat company in the world just by harnessing technology instead of animals.
Meat substitutes are not new, but unlike the soy-based crumbles that mimic ground beef, Redefined Meat's product is designed to act, taste, and cut like flank steak.
This is the holy grail of alternative meat.
But the most important part, how does it taste? This diner was happy.
The texture feels right. Even the smell smells like the real thing. Really authentic. For me, it's revolutionary.
This is Inside Edition Digital.
So there you go, guys. Now they have printed meat. Printed. Okay, they are printing the food. 3D printed meat. Well, what are we doing, man? What in the hell are we doing where we got to eat 3D printed meat? I can only imagine what's coming down the pipeline next. And not just coming down the pipeline next. What else is out here that we just don't know about? What else have you been consuming? All right, like we digging into stuff, man, that some people have already died from and don't even know it. We're digging into this stuff, figuring out what the hell is going on, what's happening. All right, they putting all this generic crap out, man. They've been doing away with a lot of these food manufacturing companies. I did a whole video, couple videos actually. They were showing how many food manufacturing companies had been blown up, destroyed, like these meat processing plants. All these different places have been under attack. Like out of the blue, we start getting all this attack on these food places or these manufacturing companies, like planes flying into them and stuff. Like, why do y'all think that stuff is happening? Just off the strength of what we know. Why do you think that all of these food places is being either destroyed or taken down? Why do you think all these farmers have been asked to stop growing their food, to destroy their crops? They've had their cattle and stuff dying. They've been forced to give them this technology. All of this stuff is happening at the same time. They coming out with all these different generic options that you are supposed to start to consume. Is it a coincidence, man? Is it a coincidence that you have to go now? Like I said, you have to go literally when you go out to eat, you have to ask for real food. I tell you this, like when I go out to like a breakfast place, a cafe or something like that, I'll be like, hey, let me get some eggs. I have to tell them, like, hey, I want real cracked eggs. I don't want the bag shit that y'all putting together, right? I don't want that shit. All right. And if you don't ask for it, they're going to give it to you. And if you consume enough of it, I don't know how much of that you have to consume before you have a problem, before your liver starts acting up or you have some form of cancer or anything else. I don't have a clue. You know, that's a study that I would do if I was in charge of like the CDC and like these people that be so baffled. Doctors are baffled by why people are dropping dead. They're baffled. They always baffled, but they ain't never doing no tests to find out what's happening. Y'all, don't you find that very, very odd that that's kind of how it goes? They always baffled, but they never looking in to see what's causing the problems that people are essentially dying from on a regular basis. So let's check this out, man. Another video here I want to take a look at. It's neurotoxins. Neurotoxins.
Why don't we start with what MSG?
Here we go. Okay. I was about to die. I'll get with you in just a second, man. Somebody just asked about dealing with the detox. Give me a second here.
Why don't we start with what MSG is? It's monosodium glutamate. It is a neuro.
Okay, here we go. Boom, boom. Presentation.
Why don't we start with what MSG is? It's monosodium glutamate. It is a neurotoxin. What is a neurotoxin?
A neurotoxin is a substance that will stimulate brain cells to the point of killing them. When applied enough to receptors, the neurons die.
While they're doing that, they cause headaches, migraines, learning disabilities, Lou Gehrig's disease, list goes on and on. So why is this in food?
Because the industry that sells it makes a lot of money from the product. If you have a product that has some MSG in it, your product is going to be more flavorful.
And they've gone to great lengths to hide that. I found MSG hidden among many different labels. Can you give us some of the things that they use to hide MSG?
Hydrolyzed protein products.
Okay.
So you'll see hydrolyzed pea protein or hydrolyzed corn protein, hydrolyzed whey proteins, autolyzed yeast extract, sodium caseinate, maltodextrin.
Some of these foods, I mean, live with them every single day, and they have horrible things hidden on the label.
So somebody said, why is Bill Gates buying up all the farmland? That's a good question. Because he ain't trying to use it to make real food. So what is he doing? Right? It's crazy though, because you got some cities, man, and it's like different things be happening. Like I think I did a video probably about 2 weeks ago. We was talking about the chemtrail spraying, right? And how I can't think of which state it was. Was it North Carolina or Louisiana? One of the two, man, but they banned the flying and spraying of chemtrails over their state. Okay. Not sure which one it was, but I put up a little article about it. Now it's funny because somebody just mentioned in the chat, they were talking about banning this fake meat in Florida. Tina McMichael said I believe Florida banned fake meat, right? So it's some cities that are recognizing different things that's been done. Some governors, I don't know who's still on the good side or not, man. Most of our governors have been pretty much controlled or are being controlled, or they are signed up for the BS, or they can't, their hands are tied, they can't do nothing. Okay. But you do have some, like you said, you still have good people that find out stuff, just like Timothy Jarrell Cunningham was working at the CDC. I told you that he was working at the CDC and he stumbled across something that was hurting people. He stumbled across why people were catching the flu, right? And he tried to warn everybody and blow the whistle, and they killed him, right? Just like if somebody came out and said, hey, this is what they're doing. I'm spraying the chems and this is what's in it, blah, blah, blah. They're not going to be around telling people too long. They're not going to be able to keep blowing that whistle like that. Okay. But you do have good people, man, in place still that do have our best interest at heart. And they're going to do what's right. They're going to explain what they found, the information that they've come across. All right. And I guarantee you, like I said, if somebody did the studies into some of this meat and stuff that people are eating, they will find out exactly why you have certain things that's happening to people. All right. Now, we all human beings. People digest food at different rates. People absorb the vitamins and minerals and things in the food at different rates. Some people absorb the negative things that they putting in at different rates. And this causes people to have different type of illnesses and issues. Everybody's different, but I assure you that if you consume enough of something over the course of your lifetime, you essentially will likely have some of the same problems that somebody else is having from that. It may take you a longer time to reach that point, but ultimately you probably will get to that point, if that makes sense. So real quick, let me play this other clip for you guys. I thought this was interesting too. We was talking about alcohol and stuff, the alcohol consumption. And I talked to you guys about that before from the spiritual aspect, man, how that affects you and how you don't really want to. I know a lot of people probably in here drink. Hey, I have no problem with people that drink. Drink at your own risk and control your drinking so that you don't find yourself in compromising positions. I told you guys back when I was in law enforcement, I had a guy that he was a really great guy, but he consumed alcohol to the point where he blacked out, and that allowed for a spirit to take over him and pretty much get control of his vessel and do some unthinkable things to a woman. They landed him behind bars for the better part of 25 years of his life. Okay. And essentially that's what happens when you drink. You opening up yourself to what most would know as demonic possession. It's possession by other spirits that are still floating in this dimension. Okay. That do no longer have a vessel. All right, and they're looking for those opportunities. So you want to watch what you're drinking and stuff too, man. You really don't want to be drinking much at all. But I understand some people have these things that they like to do, and socially or whatever. But please, by all means, guys, control your drinking.
Etymology of alcohol.
So let me play this real quick. Here we go.
Etymology of alcohol, alcohol, evil spirit. When you hit a certain level of alcohol in the human body, it is pulling the essence of the soul out of the body. I'm sure everybody here at this table is blacked out at least once. There's levels that you go into like a 2-day coma, or you just don't remember the last 12 hours of your life. And you've said things, done things, got home somehow. Those are all levels of blacking out. And so that's a big deal. That means that your conscious left, anything could have attached to that vessel. That's why you have people that do heinous crimes when they black out on alcohol. It's not only a diuretic, but it's a chelator of minerals. In particular, it removes magnesium from the body. Now that right there is one of the most illuminating things that alcohol does. Magnesium is the mineral that creates communication ion channels in the body so cells can communicate. And so the fact that alcohol chelates or pulls magnesium out of the body tells me that we have to really be careful on our alcohol consumption.
Want to be careful on your alcohol consumption, guys. I tell you guys this all the time, man. The alcohol does affect you spiritually. Okay, just like the drugs, certain drugs affect you spiritually. It has this way of opening up your pineal gland. If you're not vibrating at the right frequency, man, you will have some negative dark spirits, entities that will be circulating around you. Okay, this is something that you need to be aware of. I stumbled across that and I figured it was important. I've talked about this before and I showed y'all videos about that. I believe I really believe that's why they push alcohol the way they do, so they can open up these opportunities for spirits to inhabit these different folks that's consuming alcohol. All right, and these spirits can carry out these heinous crimes and things, and just the evil that comes behind it, man. Be careful. If I can't reiterate that enough, be careful if you like to drink. All right. So other than that, man, I want to talk a little bit about the upcoming election, the stuff that just popped off with Trump and everything, man, the conviction and all that. Oh man, it's a lot that goes into it. We can't just go off of the surface level information that we receive, and I tell you that all the time, because we are in a spiritual battle. We are in an intergalactical battle. It's a lot going on. It's a lot tied to it, man. They're going to do things. They're going to push certain things to throw you off, to give you a misimpression of what's really going on. But rest assured, man, that there is some things that are going on in the background that does happen to be positive. I tell you all the time, we have positive beings, we have negative beings. We focus a lot on the negative beings, but there's positive beings too, man. There's twos, there's doubles, there's triples of different folks that are in important places that have to do with our government, have to do with our lives, our health. There's different folks in position. Not always, not just bad guys, but there are good guys as well. Like you had the situation popped off where you had people that were getting saline shots that they didn't know nothing about, and they found out later that they really didn't get to walk. You know, like, oh wow, like now that happened, right? You have different things that happen. If anybody said, well, that must have been God, right? God then protected you. You know, you didn't walk up here and about to do something and it didn't happen, right? Some people got spared like that. Didn't see it like much at the time, but somebody knew or got the word that, hey, I'm not going to do this to them. I'm not going to let this happen. Or somebody was put in position to spare people from some of that. All right. It didn't happen for everybody, but it did happen. Some people were spared and essentially could have been a lot worse for them. So you have to think about that, man, and wonder like, well, why did that happen? What happened there? This last piece I want to play about this meat, so y'all can know what to look out for, and then I want to get on this other stuff real quick so y'all can see. Let's see this other piece of meat stuff. Here we go. Hold on. Hold up. All right. Here we go.
I want to buy your house. I can pay you cash for your house. No.
Sale of chicken made for the first time, U.S. regulators approved the sale of chicken made from animal cells. It allows 2 California companies to offer lab-grown meat to restaurants. The cultivated meat is grown in steel tanks using cells that come from a living animal, a fertilized egg, or a special bank of stored cells.
It feels strange, a little peculiar initially, but after a period of time, it becomes ubiquitous and boring. And that's eventually the path for cultivated meat.
Okay, but don't look for it at grocery stores anytime soon. Cultivated chicken is apparently much more expensive and cannot yet be produced on the scale of traditional meats.
I'm trying.
Yeah?
All the other things we eat.
Oh, Lord forbid we can't get our hands on that lab-grown chicken. Lord forbid you can't get that, right? They trying to make it seem like it's something that you want to get. Oh, it's more expensive. Like, oh, I got to get some of that expensive, that deadly meat. I got to get some of that. man, these folks, the way they push this stuff, and don't think for a second that they ain't intend to get you enticed by trying to push it as if it's some, special meal that you need to have because it's expensive. That's enough to sell some people on getting it, realistically. So, wanted to play this little piece, man. I thought this guy kind of hit some key points, something that we just need to be aware of and pay attention to. I'm gonna play this piece real quick. First, I want to play this as it pertains to this religious aspect. Y'all know we talk about religion and everything. I know everybody has their own ideas about it, and it's not to persuade anybody one way or the other, but it's some good points, man, that's being made. You gotta take a look at, man. You gotta take a look at this. Jordan Maxwell. Some of y'all might have heard of him before, but I played some pieces from him, so I'm gonna play this piece for y'all.
This is in the Bible.
Of course it
this
is.
is in the Bible.
Are you aware that there were 15? Now let me ask you something. Are you aware that there were 15 other major religions? This is history now.
Okay.
Not conjecture, history. There were 15 major theological religious movements in the world before Christianity that taught exactly the same identical story of a Messiah who came to the earth, who was born in a manger, who died on a cross, who had 12 apostles, who died with a crown of thorns. Are you aware that there were 15 major religions that had the same identical teachings of Christianity? Most people aren't. And I'm very suspect of a 16th religion, which is copied off of 15 previous religions, and I am told that this one is the truth. I become very suspect. That's the way I am as a teacher.
So yeah, he raised some very interesting points there. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but there's 15 previous religions prior to Christianity. Why do people practice Christianity and not those other 15 religions that basically have the same premise that they're based off of? Does that make sense? Just something to think about, guys. So real quick, let me play this because we're gonna be through in a second here. Chigai, one of the serial killers. Let me play his little piece.
This challenge that's posed by
stuff they talking about doing. Go back to the WHO.
But the serious challenge that's posed by anti-vaxxers, and I think we need to strategize to really push back because vaccines work, vaccines affect adults, and we have science evidence on our side. I think it's time to be more aggressive in pushing back on anti-vaxxers. I think they use COVID as an opportunity and, all the havoc they're creating. Maybe that's one of the messages also I'd like to include to whatever I have said. But
So this guy was a known terrorist prior to getting himself a position with the World Health Organization. I can only imagine what his resume looked like, whatever he brought in there. But now he's talking about they need to get more aggressive in how they deal with people like us. More aggressive. I wonder what that looks like, man. I wonder what the aggressiveness looks like. Remember, he's right there with the guy that was saying, hey, we need to start going up in people's homes and snatching out their children. We need to come up in there and we need to start taking people out by force if necessary because they might be sick and they might not know it. Meaning you might be asymptomatic, which you really don't have nothing because we know it's a bunch of fraud. They know it's some fraud. But now he's saying this. We need to get more aggressive with people that's telling the truth about what's happening. What kind of aggression y'all talking about? We already saw the kind of crap y'all was trying to do before. I can only imagine what the hell he got up his sleeve. A known terrorist. Think about it. You have a terrorist that's running our decision making for our medical industry that wanted to come up in your home, force a fake test on you, make you believe you got something that gave them the right to snatch you up out your home. You want this person making any kind of decisions, man, as far as the level of aggression that they apply under the guise of a pandemic? Like, do you want them making those type of decisions? Should he even be in position to do so? Right? But this is how we have our system set up. And they're trying to hand over our sovereignty to these folks to be making this decision. It's insane, man. Literally insane. Right? But this is one thing I talked about before. I told y'all before. Trump was breaking away from the World Health Organization. These guys right here that was talking this crap right now. Don't you just find it odd that he was breaking away from it? Then as soon as Biden got in, the first thing he said, he has rejoined the World Health Organization and allowing them to do the crap that they doing. And then at the same time, he's trying to give our sovereignty over to them at the same time so that they can push these things on the next pandemic, which they already got planned, probably likely in the form of the avian flu. There's basically going to be people that took the walk that's going to be affected by any wild virus, any other flu virus that they can push or that they already injected animals with, the meat with, that people start getting that combination mixing together, and boom, what do you got? The same problem you had with the ferrets. Remember, I just did a video on this when what was that? Robert Kennedy Jr. was talking about it. The ferrets. They got they took the walk, and they got the wild virus, and boom, that causes for that chain reaction to happen. Right? So hold up. Okay. Anyway, speaking of Trump, let's play this piece real quick, man. I think this was quintessential. And then we'll play this other piece so I can just kind of give y'all an impression of what this guy's talking about, man, and why he's so adamant about what he's saying. We'll take a look at it. All right. Boom. Boom. Do that. Bam. All right, here we go.
The FBI has had Hunter Biden's laptop before we knew about Hunter Biden's laptop. So the FBI knew Hunter Biden was a money laundering pedophile fucking crackhead. Not only that, the FBI already knew that Joe Biden was a fucking racist. There's a black woman that worked in the State Department that had Joe Biden convicted of fucking rape. And you don't hear shit about that either. But you watch as they continuously go after Donald Trump. Now you have to ask yourself, this man just ran for president. Before he ran for president, none of this shit came up. They ain't want to go through none of this shit. They ain't even talk about Stormy Daniels and even try to chop. They never tried this shit when he was even president. Why do you think this is happening now? Because if Donald Trump is elected, the pedophiles in Capitol Hill, the Illuminati controlled fucking system crashes before your fucking very eyes. The same people that's going after Donald Trump is the same people polluting your fucking air, the water, poisoning your food sources. All of these foods now being recalled all of a sudden. Are you not aware of what's really happening right now? So while you see people trying to say, oh, he's convicted and they're happy and everything else, these are the same fucking devil worship Illuminati pedophiles all working together. And either way, shape or form, we're going to put Donald Trump in office. And we want him to lock you motherfuckers up and put a lot of you motherfuckers to death. You need a needle. The only way to fix this system is to kill off the people that have been trying to kill us all. I don't have nothing else to say. I don't need to. Because you and I both know the reason why Bill Gates is running around here buying up all this fucking land, paying people not to produce food, and creating fake food for you to eat is because both sides are working together, working against you, me, and Donald Trump. We vote for Donald Trump. We put him in office. We put an end to this shit now.
So, what y'all think about what the young man was saying? What do y'all think about that, man? I know I got my thoughts, man. Y'all know what I say. I tell y'all all the time. First and foremost, what you must understand that there is 2, potentially 3 Donald Trumps. Okay? But it's not what you think it is. All right? Yes, there is one that is being used for evil. Make no mistake about it. There is. But there is one that has been steering you away from evil, which is odd. But I tell you all the time what they say. Donald Trump, the people, a lot of the reason, if you go listen to a lot of people, they say they don't like Donald Trump. What is one of the main reasons they say they don't like Donald Trump? Can somebody tell me what is one of the main reasons why they say they don't like Donald Trump? One of the main reasons why they say they don't like Donald Trump is because he's a double talker. He talking this, he talking that. Two different folks is what it is, guys. And I keep pointing that out. It's two different folks. All right? Two different folks. And whether it's the time traveling Trump, all right? If you guys don't believe that, like I tell you, I showed y'all last time. Go get the book, The Adventures of Baron Trump. Read that book and come back and have a conversation. You tell me how they came up with all that crap. You do that. Stuff will start to make sense to you. All right. How could they know this? How could they know that? Well, it's almost impossible without some kind of extra insight from some other level of intelligence. Okay. Or some type of prophecy or predetermined way of things going about. But it's definitely not just some regular book. Can't be. Can't be. It's no different than the prophecies that's in your Bible. It's just that it's that clear in there. All right, so check that out. But anyway, like I said, there is two. And and Trump ain't the first president. There's been 2 to 3 of, man. I understand that too. The Hillarys and Bill Clinton, Obama. The list goes on, man. Kennedys, like they know this stuff, man. They got these doubles, they got these clones. All this stuff is going on right beneath our noses. But talk about racist. They pushed the racist card on Trump. They pushed that. And a lot of people, and it works, especially for black people. I will say that it works because black people, as soon as they hear racist, they automatically jump and say, yes, they probably racist. Black people are guilty of that. Okay, if you hear racist, somebody name attached to it, that's all they need to hear. So they throw that card around. But like he was pointing out, Joe Biden was also known for being racist. People didn't know that. They also didn't know that his good buddy, like his best friend, was like in the KKK. He was like the Grand Master. They never told you that though. See, but if somebody told you that the guy that was running for president, his best friend was the KKK, would you vote for him? I'm just throwing that out there. Would you vote for him? So why would they hide that about him and then push that on Trump? But I showed y'all who the media is, right? Y'all understand that those are the Dracos and stuff. You understand that, right? You understand that the Draco's been running around the galaxy having a way with a multitude of different races of beings. All right? This ain't the first time. In fact, one of the beings or the races that they had issues with was the Andromedans and the Pleiadians. These are some of the folks that came down here and made contact. All right. Some people don't even believe that stuff. Like, man, it's a lot of different layers to this shit. It's a lot of different layers. All right. But that is one of the aspects of it, is that they are attempting to control this whole country, this whole world, with putting people in position of power, whether it be one of they puppets, one of their parasitical controlled hosts that they have, or whether they've straight cloned somebody altogether. They're using these different folks as puppets to control us, to do the stuff, to implement these different draconian measures that they've been carrying out that you don't pay no mind to, right? So yeah, like I've told people in the past, we went over this. Essentially, over the years, when you vote, it don't matter who you vote for because they control both sides. They've always controlled both sides. Now, I tell y'all this all the time too. If you were to try to disrupt what was going on in this world, you would have to come in into a political party, just as they were able to infiltrate. You would have to infiltrate. It would have to be an infiltration. You can't just come in and start fighting it. What is going to just be a war? Like, you can't come in and just start going against the U.S. government. You can't do that. That's not going to work. Okay, you can't just come in and start putting stuff on the news media. They run the media. So what are you going to do? If you look at the stuff that Trump has dealt with, it's like, well, dang, why are they remember how they cutting the cameras off? Like, think about this. They cutting the cameras off when he's doing interviews and stuff, when he's trying to show, not to give you the impression that he's not getting the type of support that he's getting. You know, they trying to impeach, they throwing all the charges out there, trying to make him look a certain kind of way. Why must they do that if they control that side? Why must they do that? Why not just control the side and just have a smooth election and everybody go home, everything's fine? Why? It makes you wonder. Food for thought, right? Why would they need to attack a man the way they do? It's because, like I tell y'all, they don't control all Trumps like they would like to. They do control a Trump, but they don't control all Trumps. And I believe that one of those Trumps is being used for our benefit. Okay? Now, how that's going to play out in the upcoming election and stuff, I don't know. But he's tried to reverse a lot of things that Biden has done, and we know that what Biden has been doing. He's also tried to tell people to steer clear of taking the walk and try these other methods, where one of the Trumps has been pushing the walk. Understand that, okay? Why you got this double talk going on, right? So, in closing, I'm gonna play this video, man, just so people can kind of get an idea of why this is going on like this. You can kind of see for yourself and get your own. Dang, I want to play this piece, man, but I don't know if I can get away with it. I think this video is gonna be up for a couple of minutes, man, on YouTube, and I might have to pull it. I don't know if we're gonna play it. We might play a little bit of it. Let me see what we can get away with real quick. You know, I'll be taking those risks for y'all, man. Taking them risks, man, but y'all don't feel me.
About.
But let's play it real quick.
Consensus that COVID vaccines, the jabs, have serious side effects, has many people, including medical experts, revisiting other vaccines, including childhood vaccines that have been foisted upon our kids for decades. An anonymous but popular Substack author writing under the name The Midwestern Doctor has laid out a thoughtful and compelling assessment of many widely accepted childhood vaccines. The author found many vaccines have negligible or non-existent benefits, but have documented side effects. These cases include MMR, DPT, flu, and the tetanus vaccines. As he points out, what essentially happened after the bacterial childhood vaccinations were introduced was that it caused both that infection and other bacterial infections to become more common, and for them to mutate to more dangerous strains that affected many people who were not previously susceptible to them, and created a variety of new side effects from the infections not seen before. He goes on to say the response to the other infections becoming worse has been to make new vaccines for them, which has further accelerated this downward spiral, which actually, when you read this piece, makes a lot of sense. And it also makes for a lot of big pharma profits. And in conclusion, on COVID vaccines, the Midwestern Doctor writes, quote, "These recent publications and the data sets that Dowd's estimate is based upon show clearly and unambiguously that the risk of the COVID vaccines greatly outweigh any possible benefit they might have." Dr. Pierre Corey, who has risen to prominence as a COVID vaccine critic, posted on X that the article calls him, or he's already been talking about this a little, to rethink his acceptance of the manufacturer consensus about the childhood vaccine schedule. He writes, quote, "Before COVID, I didn't think there were serious issues with the childhood vaccines, but now, like many, I've come to question that assumption."
So they starting to, remember, I've been telling y'all this already, but now they're starting to bring the question other stuff that we've taken over our lifetime. Now people starting to look back. Well, let's take a look back at this and this that they took. What did it do? That's what I say. That's the type of investigation. Those are the type of studies that should really be going on. What did it do? But then that takes you back to Dr. Markowitz, Judy Markowitz, that was talking about what it really did. And then they destroyed her life because she was trying to warn people. Every time people try to tell you something, man, try to put you on the right track, they always destroy their life or they end up doing away with them altogether. So, anywho, guys, I thought that was a good little piece to take a look at. That they are suddenly starting to really start to delve into the stuff that they've been putting in our systems for a long time. So let's take a look at this piece right here, man. Some of y'all probably already seen this before, I'm sure. But we're gonna play it anyway to see.
Have you ever wondered why we go to war? Or
let's play it. This is that Q piece. Hold on.
have you ever wondered why we go to war? Or why you never seem to be able to get out of debt? Why there is poverty, division, and crime? What if I told you there was a reason for it all? What if I told you it was done on purpose? What if I told you that those who were corrupting the world, poisoning our food, and igniting conflict were themselves about to be permanently eradicated from the earth? You might think that an idealistic fantasy. Well, let me tell you a story. We acknowledge there are criminals, of course. They rob your house, they steal your phone. They can murder you too if they think they can get away with it. We have all experienced criminals in one way or another. Criminals, as we know, are those who choose personal gain over the rights of others and have no regard for the law. But here is where you need to expand your thinking. Criminals can also succeed in business and politics and can be elected as our leaders. If a criminal became the president, imagine what they could achieve. They could use the full weight of their executive power to commit much larger crimes and ensure they and their friends were enriched to the fullest extent possible. A criminal president could create alliances with other criminal presidents and then collaborate on more global criminal activities. Anything goes. Drug running, human trafficking, whatever makes the big bucks. The 20th century was turbulent with war, economic disaster, famines, and displacement. We have always accepted these things as just human nature, and simply the way the world works. Something inevitable, and due to the weaknesses of human nature that drive us to these actions. This is where we were all tragically wrong. You are not a criminal. I'm not a criminal. So how can we just assume that it is human nature that is driving all this pain and misery? What if it wasn't human nature at all, and as a result of something more deliberate? We were taught that capitalism was the cause of a massive rich-poor divide and the reason for poverty, which in turn is the reason for war, crime, and starvation. Others were taught that communism, the system of equal wealth across all people, was really to blame for the mess. But you see, folks, it is none of these things. It is not our nature to fight and be racist. It is not in our nature to rob from others. What you must learn is that it was the criminals all along. Yes, they got power. More power than a criminal should ever have. They rose to the top of media companies that control our news and entertainment. They ascended to the top of the banking system, also to the Oval Office, to Brussels, to the Vatican, to the Crown. They crept in quietly. They became leaders of agricultural companies who have control over our food supply. Also big pharmaceutical companies, the ones we trust to help us when we're sick. Nobody stopped them, and they just recruited more criminals to help them. First, they accumulated the world's wealth. They invented a system of money called central banking, which lends money to governments with interest, placing countries into eternal debt. People's wealth got less. Their wealth got more. Much more. When a criminal is already as rich as they can get, then protecting their ill-gotten gains becomes the priority. Angry citizens tired of being poor are a major obstacle and can revolt if they suffer enough. The criminals needed to prevent this, so they diverted attention to the last remaining competitor, the people of the world. You and me. We were not happy being ruled by criminals and having to work 3 jobs just to survive. They know we won't accept it. So they use their control of the media to set black against white, woman against man, young against old, Muslim against Christian. They convinced us we were the problem so that we would fight and destroy ourselves. To get it done faster, they attacked all aspects of humanity that make us strong. Like family, using their influence over culture, they popularized lifestyle choices that led to a surge in broken homes, lost youth, and substance abuse. I could talk all day about how else they deliberately weakened us, and it would turn your stomach. We were just trying to get on with living. So where are all the good guys? Good people just want to get married, have kids, make a living, and enjoy their liberty. Well, there were good guys, many. One became the President of the United States in January 1961. He knew about these criminals and wanted them gone. He knew their intentions for us all, and he wanted to fight them. Sadly, he had no idea how powerful they had become. Reagan also had good intentions for the American people. He knew this criminal mafia controlled almost everything by the stage, including the powerful rogue intelligence agencies. His economic policies were promising, but the criminals needed a weak America to hold on to their power. Reagan was shown with a bullet that a growing U.S. economy and prosperous citizens were not what the criminals wanted. It was looking pretty grim for good people. Every time someone wanted to stand up and do the right thing, they got stopped. Were we ever to be freed? These criminals are also known as the deep state, or cabal, because of how they control things behind the scenes. Every president after Reagan was one of these deep state criminals, and their empire got even stronger. With each bad president came new depths America and the world would sink. The world collapsed into darkness. Do you need me to tell you how? Destroyed factories, declining job numbers, sicker people, opioids, destruction of Iraq, Syria, and Yemen with pointless war, displacement of people into Europe, ISIS, terrorism, collapsed governments, poverty, and genocide. Total misery. Do you think that was inevitable? Hell no. Well, here's where things start to take a new turn. When the full picture comes to be known, it will forever be regarded as the greatest story ever told. Well, here is the top line. Some good people still held positions of power. They valued humanity and the rule of law. While the criminals discussed their game plan at the annual Bilderberg meetings, the good guys were making plans of their own. The information age was coming to change history forever. As the internet flooded into every home and appliances became smarter, and when people started carrying tracking devices, an opportunity to put an end to criminal control over the world was emerging. We became connected, trackable, and surveilled. But so did they. They became dependent, just like we did, on email, SMS, instant communication. It made crime much easier, but it also put them on a grid that, if accessed by the right people, would expose their crimes to the public and end their iron grip on us once and for all. In this new age of information, it was thought that the military should also have its own intelligence agency to focus on cybercrime and espionage. They called this the NSA, the National Security Agency. Here we had every phone call, email, and text from every device stored and archived, whether it be someone making a doctor's appointment or the deep state setting up a massive heroin purchase from the Taliban. In the right hands, it would be enough information to expose the entire sinister criminal plot to rub us blind and wipe us out. Hold that thought. Now I need to explain the plan. The good guys were devising a plan to reclaim the world from the cabal and return it to the people. It would involve alliances with multiple countries, since the criminals had global rat lines, trade, and other infrastructure in place that would need their cooperation. It came down to two choices for America: launch a military coup to seize the government from whichever cabal puppet was in the White House at the time, or win legitimately, take control of the NSA, expose the criminals for what they are, and arrest them all. Obviously, the first option would be very troubling for the public. With people still preoccupied with cabal-engineered social issues, they would likely revolt and hurt themselves and others. No, It would have to be the latter. So they needed a candidate who could win, and who could win big. Many states like California had been so heavily inundated by criminals that even the voting machines were electronically set up to swing votes any which way. It would need to be a very decisive victory. Good patriots in the US military and their global partners asked Trump to run for president so they could take back control of America legitimately without alarming the public. Trump was a good choice, obviously, because he overcame the voter fraud and won. But he was a patriot, and he was loved and admired by the public. He was not interested in joining the cabal because they hated America, and he did not agree with them on that point. As soon as he showed interest in taking power, they activated their media assets to viciously turn on him. That's when we saw the sudden hatred emerge. Even when he won, the cabal still had no idea what he was a part of, and the sophisticated plan that was about to unfold against them. Shocked at their loss, they mobilized their full arsenal of intelligence, media, money, and technology to try and take back power. There were people at the top of the DOJ and FBI then put together a plan to frame Trump and have him impeached. This is where we come back to the NSA again. All messages were stored and could be used to expose this plot and prevent Trump's overthrow. An entire book will be written about the first 2 years of Trump's presidency: false flag terror attacks, down planes, missile alerts, assassination attempts. Here is the point. The world is currently experiencing a dramatic covert war of biblical proportions, literally the fight for Earth, between the forces of good and evil. I can't put it in simpler terms, but I can say it appears the good guys are winning. The cabal had complete control over North Korea. They hijacked the Kim dynasty, took them hostage, and worked to build up a nuclear arsenal to threaten the world. Kim Jong-un suddenly embracing peace was simply because the deep state were beaten and driven out. ISIS was also destroyed in the year following Trump's win. We are all starting to see the pattern now, that enough time has passed, that our biggest global concerns are starting to recede, and peace is returning. It is all evidence that the good guys are winning the war. But we are still in the middle. While a lot is improving, it still puzzles many that most of these known criminals are still free, especially the higher-ups like Hillary Clinton, the Bushes, and Obama. That is coming in the next chapter of the story. That's why we have Q. The good guys with control over the NSA began the Q intelligence dissemination program to invoke an online grassroots movement that came to be called the Great Awakening. It started on underground internet channels and then moved to the mainstream. Q has been a fun distraction for those who follow world events and desire truth, but it is about to begin a much more important and necessary phase, keeping the public informed when the deep state war breaks out onto the surface. By this, I mean high-profile arrests. Yes, folks, the criminals I'm referring to are famous politicians, actors, singers, CEOs, and celebrities. People who have earned our trust, respect, and admiration. They have done very bad things that are all fully known and documented, and they will be severely punished. Those of us who have followed Q since the beginning will be here to help you make sense of the coming events. We are among the first to realize that our petty partisan divisions are just trivial distractions, and we are all enslaved by a hidden enemy. We realize that the problem was never capitalism or socialism, Democrat or Republican, black or white, Muslim or Christian. We know it was just very powerful criminals who had too much power. Fellow slaves, it's time to buckle your seatbelt, recognize your true enemy, and embrace a new future that we all owe to the brave patriots who risked their lives to achieve this victory against the greatest force of evil the world has ever known. May God bless America.
So guys, regarding that piece, I know we get a lot of different opinions about it. People say, hey, that's a psyop or whatnot, and it very well could be, right? But I will say this, man, like I've told you guys before, if there was going to be any type of hope, okay, far as changing the way this stuff is going or the way the stuff has been laid out, that obviously there's folks that want us dead. All right. If there was anybody that didn't want it, if it was going to be some kind of disruption, it would have to come in the form of some type of political party. Otherwise, it'd just be all out war, civil war, and it could still get to that point. But it would be all out war. It would have to be somebody. What crazed person is going to take on the government or the military from outside? Like, how would you ever make that make sense? So it would have to be some type of internal battle to gain control over certain different elements of our country, of our justice system, of our military, all of that. Because I showed y'all how they pretty much infiltrated before and got all these pieces in position to do the stuff that they doing, right? So understand, man, and they talk, they kind of just go over the surface, talking about, yeah, we controlled by a hidden enemy. Yeah, we are controlled by a hidden enemy. It's a hidden enemy that most people don't know exists. But we're not just talking about human beings, man. This is beyond the human aspect of it. This is other beings that are controlling us, whether it be, or you want to relate it to the biblical aspect from the Nephilim, the hybrids and whatnot, or you just want to call it what it is, the Dracos and these fallen angels, whichever, it's still the same thing, man. This is what we're dealing with. These are the folks that are the things that have deceived all these people into doing something to harm themselves. If they would have knew that these things existed, or people read the Bible all the time, but they don't believe the stuff that's in there. You know, a lot of people read the Bible, but they don't have any concept of the reality part of it, of how much of that is actually in play today. You know, they can be easily deceived though by following it too closely, because anything they put in there to throw you off, guess what? You're gonna be thrown off. You're gonna be thrown off. So if they want to hide behind something, they can hide, because they're gonna like, oh, this is what happened, blah blah blah, and then all of them disappear. So guess what? Now you don't even know they're here, because they've been written off. They wrote themselves off so that you would know, right? So that'll give them the upper hand. The best way to enslave a race is to make them believe that they are free. But if you look around us, you see the money that we exchange, it's got their, their symbol on it, their pattern and stuff, their backing. Okay, they own it, they have it, they hand it out. Talk about the royal families and stuff. They label themselves as royals. We give them the title as royals and stuff, right? But they're far from that. They've put us beneath them. They've made us peasants and made us work the way we work. You work 7 days. Some people work 7 days a week, and that's what your life has been pretty much relegated to, is being a slave for the money that they own, right? And then it's never enough. They make it so it's never enough, so that you continue to be a slave in the system, and you can never get to a point where you understand what's going on, or you're able to address the stuff that's going on, right? So you have to think about that, man, and understand, like I tell you all the time, there's negative beings, there's positive beings. Okay, you believe in God and whatnot, you got to believe also that God would do things or have his angels or whatnot get involved in a fight when it has to do with your life, because it's bigger than just your life here. We're talking about spiritually, and them trying to harness your soul, your energy, trying to harvest your soul, your spirit, right? So at some point, God do have to get involved with that. All right, but if they trying to harness your soul, your energy, and everything, you think they're gonna make it easy for you to avoid that? You think they would essentially just let you have a book that's gonna give you everything you need to get away from that? You see what I'm saying? Like this is where people gotta think. If they controlling every aspect of our life, and part of controlling us is making sure that they got control of your soul and your spirit, why would they allow you to openly have something that's going to get you out of that situation when everything else that they've done has shown you that they would make sure that they derail you from being in physically good health or mentally good health, why wouldn't they tamper with you spiritually when that's the most important thing? Which I showed you they tampered with you spiritually, so you already know that they have. But why wouldn't they tamper with the literature to also throw you off? Think about that, guys. Think about that. And if the devil is supposed to be a father of deception, a father of lies and stuff, and a master manipulator, then you got to understand how would that manipulation come. It's came in every aspect of our life, in everything that we do. So the most important thing would be to attack you and make sure that you don't have no understanding the concept of spirituality and how that interrelates with God and you being able to leave this place that they've got control over. So, anywho, guys, I'm not gonna go into any more depth about that. I think we hit on some important topics today, man. Really want to get over the food part, man, and just kind of talk to y'all about what they doing with the food and how that's going to start being more prevalent, man, in the coming months and years. You're gonna start seeing a lot more about that, man. Or you gonna like it's right now. They probably I would say that they definitely serving some of that fake food out. That fake meat, the printed meat, all that stuff, man. Even at the grocery store, you buying food at the grocery store, man. A lot of times you buying generic fake meat. Okay, you buying this stuff, you consuming this stuff, and you don't even know what it's doing to you because you don't even know that's what you're taking. So be cognizant of this stuff, man, as you move forward in the new world that we're going to start seeing. That's going to kind of transform itself over the next couple of years due to some of the stuff that they've put upon us with this walk and stuff. No different than the AI technology that's been rolling out. Okay, they gonna try to finish people off. They're gonna try to use different methods and things that people not paying attention to. All right, just like they said, they changed all of it. And I try to put this out there every chance that I can, but the regular medicines and the regular schedules and stuff that they give, and they've started to implement the mRNA technology in that. People need to be aware of that so that they don't fall victim to that part. Okay, even though it was never good, now it's even worse. All right, because now they've incorporated this stuff in the regular stuff. So people that avoided the walk, now you got to avoid some of this other stuff. Like I said, the tetanus and, the measles and, the list goes on and on. They putting it in all that stuff. So you might think you cool just going to get a regular flu. I don't know if you're watching my channel and you still talking about going to get a flu shot today, man, God be with you. That's all I can say, man. If you on my channel and you've been following me all this time and you still trying to go get you a flu shot, if you're still doing that, and after all the stuff that we've come to be aware of, then like I said, God be with you. That's all I can say. God be with you. And it's funny though, because you have people that watch these videos and it's just for fun. They watch videos for entertainment, and then they go and they do exactly the opposite of everything that they've been listening to, and it could be a thing too, like I said, the drugging that's taking place. A lot of people have been drugged up to the point where they don't think they just doing stuff, they just moving, man. So you'll have that happen. They'll watch something and they won't register. They go do some stupid stuff, won't even click with them, because of the drugging and such. So I don't blame everybody for something like a lot of people still talk about how stupid people are and stuff like that, man. Yeah, it's people, and yeah, people are stupid. But I don't like to label people as stupid because I understand what's happened. Once you understand what's happening and what's going on, man, you kind of got a different understanding or you know, level, I guess, of sympathy or empathy for these people that have been deceived the way that they have, because it could have easily been any one of us. It really could have. I mean, they targeted all of us with the stuff that they've done, from the drugs, from the programming, from the mind altering technology. They've targeted all of us. Whether you were somebody that was able to avoid it or not, hey, you know, it could be different for you than it is for somebody else, but everybody's been targeted. You know, nobody's exempt from that. Some of us have avoided it. Some of us are just better equipped to deal with it. Some of us still have the ability to process information. Some people still have cognitive learning. So yeah, you know, it makes sense for some of us to be okay, but for most of us not to. All right. Like I said, you come in if you go in a room full of bees, man, and you start spraying some bee or wasp spray, you might hit the first few bees that's all up in your face, but it's gonna be some that don't get hit. They're gonna be able to avoid it or whatnot. And I think that's kind of what you see when you got some of the people like ourselves, which is probably cumulative of, I would say somewhere about 5% of the population, man. If you on this video, you represent 5% of the population that actually has been able to avoid stuff and know what's going on. That know that the food is jacked up, know that the water is jacked up, know that the air is jacked up, have been doing stuff to take care of yourself. You know, you avoided taking a walk. You avoided wearing the mask. You avoid taking a pop quiz, man. It's crazy, man, because they throwing that stuff, man. I can only tell y'all, man, how they doing with them. They still running them damn pop quizzes. Look, they making that a thing where you got to take that for the rest of our lives. Like, think about how far long ago that was when the pandemic popped off. Y'all know they still forcing people to take them pop quizzes. Do y'all know that? They still forcing people to take pop quizzes, depending on where you going and what you doing. Does that not seem odd? Why y'all still forcing it? And we already know you still taking if people still getting forced to take the walk, and we know the stuff that's going on behind that. But the fact that they still making people take pop quizzes and you still think it's about them worrying about your health, they trying to put something in your system, man. They trying to put something in your system to control you and to monitor you. That's it. And they still doing it. They gonna push it as long as they can. And you better believe that the next pandemic, they gonna have even more extreme draconian measures that they gonna have in place to make sure that they get that stuff in other people. Especially the people that's been able to avoid it like ourselves, some of us, right? They still gonna make sure that they do that. So just be conscious of that, man. You go to the doctor now, they'll still force you to take a dang pop quiz. Crazy, man. It's anywho. So yeah, guys. I think we're gonna wrap it up. I think we've been on here long enough. It's been 2 hours and 20 minutes on the live, man. I told you I was gonna get back to you guys because I hadn't did a video in a little time. It's been about a week since the last video, and I got hit with a couple of strikes. So, you know, I had to sit back on that for a second. May not do much on my main, not my main, but my second channel. And this video is not going to be up long. It's on the main channel right now, but I'm probably going to have to pull it. Surely the pop quiz is the COVID test. Okay. If you took that, then yes, they put some crap in your system. Yeah. They put some crap in your system, man. A number of different things. So they put graphene oxide in you. They put nanoparticles in you, also known as smart dust. They also put Morgellons in you. Okay, that's three things that they accomplished by giving you that pop quiz. All right, I say it fast so they can't catch on to it. So the COVID test. See that? Y'all see how I did it? So if you took any of those things, man, if you took, and it wasn't just that, man, they had this stuff. Whew, hey, they was cold with it, man. Because I told you it was the mask too. Yeah, they got you with the mask. So people running around think they was cool, man. They got hit. People got hit, man. People got hit. So, like I said, man, if you took the pop quiz, if you don't know, guys, yes, that's something they put 3 different things in there to affect you in 3 different ways. Okay. So if you haven't, yes, you need to get that stuff out your system. You need to address these things that they've done. I'm not going to go into depth of the significance of each different piece of that, of what each thing does, but just know that it's all negative. At the end of the day, it's all negative. Get it out your system, man. Those that have some have had a lot of negative things happening since they took those pop quizzes alone. They call themselves acting like they was recalling on, they try to act like they doing stuff because they found something out. Y'all knew what was going on, but y'all make sure y'all gave it out to 7-8 billion people. Then you say, oh, we think there might have been a problem with it. Right. Missed me with that one. Right. But the fact they still giving it out, man, I mean, they still trying to get monitoring devices and get these illnesses in people. Remember, guys, when people was taking that pop quiz, they was coming to people's job. Next thing you know, people were sick after they took it. Why people couldn't notice what was happening, I don't know. But yeah, they was injecting people with live viruses and getting them sick. Yeah. So if you didn't know that, man, definitely you need to address it. Yeah. But a lot of stuff, man, a lot of information is being removed. Like I said, a lot of stuff I put on YouTube, man, they come forward. They removed some of my videos. They gave me a bunch of strikes, man. So I had to take some stuff down just for, evasive measures, man, to avoid potentially losing the channel. I know this video probably not going to be able to stay up long because I did say some stuff on here that don't need to be said. So I don't know how much longer this video is going to be up there, but it will be on Rumble. So far, Rumble has been pretty cool. They've only removed a couple of my videos, man, when we get too in depth with stuff. So you can always go there and find most of my videos. BitChute we are live streaming on BitChute right now, but BitChute they with the shits. So I'm just telling you now, you won't find everything that you need on BitChute either. I found out what kind of crap they was on too. Right. Yeah. But yeah, this whole plan that, like I said, that whole Q plan stuff that we was just watching, they talking about dealing with the folks, but it's also really about dealing with the beings. That's what it is. They're talking about eradicating these things from the planet. Now I'm wondering how in depth they going. They know what's happening, man. I'm not a specialist, but if I know anything that I showed you, they know what's happening. And I tell y'all this, the military is not, everybody in the military ain't with the crap. You think military is actually trying to kill people. They got families and stuff too. So you have good guys in the military that really are trying to, do what's right. They know as much as I know. They know it's some, that they've been infiltrated. They know that there's some corruption going on. They know that stuff too. So there will be good guys in any battle, man. You understand what I mean? So when people say, oh, I don't believe that about that. Yeah, well, if it was some real good guys, you think the whole military bad? You think everybody is on the same plan with the BS? No, you're going to have good generals and stuff that's going to be, trying to figure out what's going on, trying to get to the bottom of it. But they could be far in between. But it is a thing that people need to be aware of. Okay, so, and they created Space Force and stuff. They created these different branches and things to essentially combat the stuff that's going on, right? So understand that, man. Understand that. So I ain't saying the whole Q plan is foolproof and all that. And I ain't saying that. I'm just saying that I believe that there is some pieces to that make sense, and it is some action being taken on the behalf of the population. All right. So, anywho, guys, as I stated before at the beginning of the video, man, we are doing the special today for the ultimate bundle. So if you haven't got a chance to clean your system up, start getting the technology and crap and the parasites, the life deteriorating parasites and stuff out of your system, man, we are running that special right now with the code cleanup for the ultimate bundle. Okay, which brings that down to $100. And then you got the flexfour, which is normally $180. That is on special right now for $90 with the code CLEANSE. Okay, so you got those two specials right now running for this week. We'll run it for this week, man, and that should help some folks that didn't get a chance to get in on the knockout that we did the week before. All right, so if you haven't, guys, make sure you get yourself cleaned up. If you haven't, also go check out the last couple of videos we did. I took the video down of Dr. Rima because it got striked on 2 channels. So I said, let me just take it down off the main channel before that gets striked too. So it's only up now on the Rumble. Okay, so if you want to watch what Dr. Rima Labo was talking about, that's the doctor that came on Jesse Fatura's show back in the day and told us about the plan to vaccinate the whole world and then how they was going to use it to kill. Like, yeah, she was on the show, man. We had her. It was a good interview. If you haven't got a chance to check it out, it's on Rumble. Definitely glad to have her on. She had mentioned something too. She wanted me to give y'all a word about. I forgot all about it for a second. I told her I would bring it to y'all's attention. Okay, so she said, let's see, I feel like UNC debacle 20 they could take quick effect. Yeah, talking about disengaging entirely from the UN debacle of 2023, the UN debacle act of 2023. So with that, it's still the same thing. Go to the website preventgenocide2030.org. All right, Dr. Rima Labo wanted me to share that with you guys. And disengaging entirely from the UN debacle act of 2023. Okay, say you can take quick, effective action by visiting preventgenocide2030.org. All right, guys. So do what you can, man. Y'all know how I feel about some of this stuff, but all I can say, man, play our part, do what we can, and just see how things shake out, right? So anyway, guys, it's been real talking with you, man. I love you guys, man. It's always a pleasure. I will likely do a video probably this week. I might do something Saturday or Sunday, man. If I don't touch base with y'all, then I will more than likely do a live on Monday. But I might do something this weekend, man. We'll have some live and calls and stuff. I've been promising y'all that for a little minute, and I've been absent a little bit. So we're going to get back to it and make sure that everybody has the opportunity to have their voices be heard, right? So anyway, y'all be safe. I will catch you on the next video.
Flowers. know those nights back in Tokyo. And weeks went by but felt like hours. Spring would lie in summer showers, and my hair were winter flowers. And weeks went by but felt like hours. Seasons multiply in power that I found in winter flowers. This has only just begun. In the end, time forever favors the young. And we said, this has only just begun. In the end, time forever favors the young.
I think that part you're doing in the middle was tight. Do you remember which one?
No. Look back to when midnights broke their sleep, awaken our memories of when we would make believe. Collide colors of the masquerade. Watch as they fall away, faceless under faces made. And weeks went by but felt like hours. Spring would lie in summer showers, and my hair were winter flowers. And weeks went by but felt like hours. Seasons multiply in power that I found in winter flowers. imagine broken design, angels running through our minds. Look out, your city's built on marble floors, neon lights in the falling snow. Those nights back in Tokyo. And weeks went by but felt like hours. Spring would lie in summer showers. In my hair were winter flowers. And weeks went by but felt like hours. Seasons multiply in power that I found in winter flowers. This has only just begun. In the end, time forever favors the young. And we said, this has only just begun. In the end, time forever favors the young.
I think that part you're doing in the middle was tight. Do you remember which one?